Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hari, Gango Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, सची माता प्राण धन गौर हरि, गौरा हरि, पतित पावन गौर हरे। जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद। जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय श्रीला गुरुदेव। नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री निताय गौरांग भगवान की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 85, Text 14. Chapter entitled Lord Krishna instructs Vasudeva and retrieves Devki's son. Tasman na santi ami bhava yarhi tvai vikalpita tam chamishu vikareshu hi anyada vyavaharika tasman na santi ami bhava yarhi tvai vikalpita त्वं चामिषु विकारेषु हि अन्यादा व्यवहारिका तस्मान् न शान्ति अमी भावा यर्हि त्वयि विकल्पिता त्वं चामिषु विकारेषु हि अन्यादा व्यवहारिका। तस्मान् न शान्ति अमी भावा विकल्पिता पंचामेषु विकारेषु शांति अमी भावा यर्हि त्वयि विकल्पिता त्वं चामीषु विकारेषु हि अन्यादा व्यवहारिका तस्मान् न शान्ति अमी भावा अल्पिता त्वं चामेषु विकारेषु हि अन्यादा व्यवहारिका। माताजी तस्मान् न शान्ति अमी भावा यर्हि त्वयि विकल्पिता त्वं चामेषु विकारेषु हि अन्यादा व्यवहारिका। Word to word meaning, translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada disciples ki jai. First word to word meaning. Tasmat Therefore, na, not, Santi, exist, Ami, these, Bhava, entities, Yarhi, when, Tvai, within you, Vikalpita, arranged, Tvam, you, Cha, also, Amisu, within these, Vikareshu, products of creation, He, indeed, Anyada, at any other time, Abhyavaharika, non-material. Translation. Thus, these created entities, transformations of material nature, do not exist except when material nature manifests them within you, at which time you also manifest within them. But aside from such periods of creation, you stand alone as the transcendental reality. Purport. When the universe is wound up at the time of its periodic annihilation, all the inert objects and bodies of living beings that he thought were manifested by the Lord's Maya become disconnected from his sight. Then, since he maintains no association with them during the period of universal dissolution, they in fact no longer exist. In other words, material manifestations have real functioning existence only when the Lord turns his attention to the creation and maintenance of the material cosmos. The Lord is never within these objects in any material sense, but He does mercifully pervade them all as the impersonal Brahman, and as the Paramatma He enters within every atom and also accompanies the Jiva souls in their individual embodiments. As the Lord describes in His own words in the verse of Bhagavad Gita 9.4 to 5, मया ततम् इदं सर्वं जगत् अव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं तेषु अवस्थिता न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पाश्यामि योगम् ऐश्वरं भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थो ममत्मा भूता भावना. By me, in my unmanifest form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. And yet, everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Let us say the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितमाश्च नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरविषे नमः. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमार्थमने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यं जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा I seek blessings at the lotus feet of all the devotees so that I can say something for the glorification of the Lord, for Srila Prabhupada's glorification, and for my personal purification. So, we have been reading this chapter that how Lord Krishna is instructing for our understanding his father Vasudev. So, Lord Krishna instructs Vasudev, and later on we will read that how he is retrieving Devki's son. Now, if we see this verse, if we read the translation again, so here it is mentioned that thus these created entities, transformations of material nature, do not exist except when material nature manifests them within you, at which time you also manifest within them, but aside from such periods of creation, you stand alone as the transcendental reality. So here Vasudev is glorifying Krishna or offering prayers to Lord Krishna. So basically, as we have been discussing, so mostly that the part which is being discussed is about the creation, how creation is happening. Then how Lord Krishna, as he expands himself into further different planetary expansions, so how he is maintaining, controlling everything, and ultimately he is the one who is annihilating everything. So here the part which is being discussed, that how after everything gets annihilated or everything gets destroyed, or when nothing is existing, then everything again goes and it exists within the Supreme Lord himself. So this is what the glorification is, how Vasudev is doing about Krishna, that how he is creating everything. Now we see that when we start reading Bhagavatam, then the first canto itself, so when Queen Kunti, when she offers prayer to Lord Krishna, then the first prayer only she uses the word Namasye Purusham Twadiyam. So Namasya is that she is offering her obeisances to whom? Namasya, and she is referring to Krishna. So she is offering her obeisances, her respects, and then she is using the word Purusham. So she is using the word Purusham. So like there can be many Purushas. Purushas, like for our own understanding, Purusha can be any male, can be Purusha. So when Kunti is saying, so why she is offering this her obeisances to any Purusham? Because there are many great personalities are there, great Purushas, like her own 5 sons. They are also great Purushas. Like Arjun is the greatest of the great archer. Bhima is very extremely powerful. So they are also great Purushas. Then Bhishma is there. So Bhishma is the one who is unconquerable. He is one of the greatest personalities. But she is saying that Namasya Purusham. Then after that she adds the word Twadiyam. Twadiyam, that you are the original. That there are many Purushas are there, but you are Namasya Purusham Twadiyam. That you are the original Purusha. There can be many Purushas may be there in the material sense, but as we read that only one Purusha is that Krishna is the ultimate Purusha and all are Prakritis, his energy. So here Kunti very clearly in the first line she is saying that you are the original Purusha. You are the Purusha from where everything emanates. Then she further what she is saying that Ishvara Prakriti Param. That she is using the word Ishvara. So Ishvara, as we know, that word Ishvara means controller. And there can be many controllers are there, like as Prabhupada also explains, and he also here in classes, that we are also like little Ishwaras, little controller. We are also like I can control little things, little gadgets we can control. A pilot can control, like an aeroplane, a pilot can control. So small controlling capabilities everyone is having. And there are demigods also, so they are more powerful than us. So they control many things. They control planets also. They control many things happening in the nature. They control. So, but here Kunti is saying that Ishware Prakrite Param, that Krishna is, that you are not just the controller, but you are the controller who is beyond this material nature. So as here, like yesterday, Atharva Prabhu was explaining that in the verse, that all the three modes, that goodness, passion, ignorance. So it is not that the Supreme Lord is under the control of goodness, passion and ignorance. Because everything is being controlled, everything is being directed by the Supreme Lord himself. So he is beyond this material nature. So he is not under the material nature. So many times people think that when the Lord appears in this material world and when he starts performing pastime, so somehow or the other, he also comes under the control of the material nature. People have this false notion. So one very interesting, like past time we have heard that how when Lord Ram, when Mother Sita was apparently kidnapped by Ravan, so Lord Ram is exhibiting all emotions, like love in separation. He's exhibiting all emotions. So at that time, when he's crying and he was like searching Mother Sita in different direction. So Parvati Devi, so she is the mother of this material nature. So she develops very much compassion. So he starts thinking that my Lord, he is like Lord Ram, he is crying, he is wailing, he is very disturbed. So let me try to do something. So she takes the form of Mother Sita and she goes in front of Lord Ram just so that she can console Lord Ram. So when she was trying to do so, at that time, Lord Shiva had cautioned her that do not do this kind of things because he is the Supreme Lord. But anyway, she had this motherly affection or feeling, emotion. So she went in front of Lord Ram, and Lord Ram immediately paid obeisances to her and said that, how are you, Mother Parvati, and how is Lord Shiva? So at that time, like he was like crying, he was like searching Mother Sita, and she was in the form of Mother Sita or took the form. Immediately, the Lord was able to recognize her. So the Lord is not under this material nature. He is beyond this material nature, but he performs different pastimes. He performs different leelas to attract us also and to teach us many lessons also. So that is why it is said that he is Ishwara Prakrite Param. Shri Nitai Gaurang Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And then when he is performing this pastime, then he is alakhyam, that he is invisible to all. Right? We are not able to see. At least with our material vision, with our material senses, with our material consciousness, we are not able to see the Lord. If we are at least through the, that is why it is said that for us we have to see through the eyes of the scriptures. If we try to start seeing the Lord through our material senses, so very difficult to understand. So he is not visible to the materialistic people, and he is Sarva Bhutanam. He is within all the living entities, and the last line which Kunti Maharani is saying that Antar Bahir Avesthitam, that he is inside also and he is outside also. Like when Mahavishnu is creating the universe, so from his pores or from his breath, many universes are emanating. So from his body, many universes are emanating means he's outside the universe. After that, he expands himself and he gets inside the universe. So he's outside the universe also, he's inside the universe also. And all these material elements, the 24 material elements and everything is existing within Lord Vishnu only. So again, when this all the living entities, we all get created, then again Lord enters within us as Paramatma. Chirudaksha Vishnu as Paramatma, he enters within us. So he's outside also, he's inside us also, he's outside all the material atoms also, he's inside all material atoms also. So everything is there within the Lord only, and Lord is also outside of this material universe. So, and who is Lord Vishnu? Who is Mahavishnu? He is one of the plenary expansions of Lord Krishna. So ultimately, original Purusha is who? Original Purusha is Lord Krishna. So everything which is happening, that is coming from Lord Krishna only. So during creation, during annihilations, everywhere Lord is there, the Supreme Lord is there. So now one question can be there that what is the need? Like this Bhagavatam is being spoken by Sukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, and here Sukdev Goswami is narrating those incidents where different important incidents is narrating, because there could be like many pastimes Krishna has performed. So he's picking up important pastimes. So one question could be that why is it that because Parikshit Maharaj is going to live just for 7 days. It's not that he's going to live for many more years, and he's voluntarily accepted that he's going to leave his body. So now if someone is going to die, And someone start explaining to him that this place where you're staying, so your grandfather had created, so how nicely he had built, so how he had collected all the ingredients, how he had accumulated money and all, which all people were involved and all in this construction. So people will think that what is the use? Like now this person is going to die. What is the need of discussing all these things? Does not make any sense. So, but why Sukdev Goswami is discussing all these things so that we can learn many valuable lessons from Lord's creations, Lord's maintenance, and Lord's destruction. And through Parikshit Maharaj, because Parikshit Maharaj is a pure devotee, Sukdev Goswami is a pure devotee, so that people like us can understand important lessons and which we can apply it in our life. So one of the lessons like what we learn is that we understand that how this material world, this material universe and everything in this world is what? It is temporary. So we hear so much detail, like if we start from first canto onwards till fifth canto, almost all the cantos something is mentioned, means we can understand the creation. But basically in these cantos we see that how detailed descriptions are there, how this entire planetary system got created, millions and millions of universe gets created, how Lord expands, how the demigods come, how these different species takes birth and all. So everything we hear in so many details we hear. But ultimately, what we understand, after everything is getting created and is properly maintained by the Lord, by His different energies, it is maintained. But ultimately, everything what happens, a time comes that everything gets annihilated, comes to an end. So a simple question could be there that everything is getting created and everything is getting annihilated. So what is the use of this material world? So it is something which is very temporary. So Lord Brahma, so how long he lives? So he lives for one breath of Mahavishnu. That is the entire lifespan of Lord Brahma. And that is, as per our calculation, is 311 trillions and 40 billion years. That is the lifespan of Brahma. And for us, it will appear like it is an eternity. For eternity, for Brahmaji is living. But that also what happens? It comes to an end. So it means that everything, whatever we are seeing in this world, so that is temporary. Everything, this world is temporary, this creation is temporary, so everything is temporary. So even like our happiness, our distress, our like joy is there, everything, whatever is there in this world, that is what? That is temporary. So that is why it is said that we should not be too much bothered in this world with our like material success, material failure, material happiness, material unhappiness, misery, sufferings, because all these things what happen, it comes and it goes. So there is one one sadhu was there. So once he visited one kingdom. So when he visited the kingdom, so king immediately welcomed sadhu and he paid him obeisances and he immediately started narrating that to the sadhu, and he started saying that you have come at the right time, because I am going through a very difficult situation. So there is so many challenges I am facing. So if I talk about my kingdom, so it has been not raining for several months. So there is famine all around. There is no crops is there. There is scarcity of food. Because of this, the citizens are very much upset with me. I am very much fearful that anytime they can go against me, they can rebel against me. Not just the citizens, even the my ministers also. So I cannot trust my ministers also, because I don't know who are with me, who are against me. They might have met with some my rival kings and also. And I have heard that because seeing that I have been becoming very weak, so there is a plan that the rival king is going to attack me and overthrow me, and I am facing problem. My wife is not cooperating, my children not cooperating. So he started narrating different challenges he is facing. So the sadhu heard everything and he just patted him on his shoulder and said that, do not worry, this shall also pass. Don't worry. So the king was quite satisfied, said that I have got blessing of sadhu, that this will also pass. So the sadhu, he went away. And then after several years, maybe 4, 5, 6 years, the sadhu again came. So when sadhu came, so king was very happy. He immediately welcomed the sadhu and said that I am very much grateful to you. You remember you came 4, 5 years back and I was narrating all these sufferings I am going through, and that time you had blessed me that this will also pass away. Because of your blessings, now everything is fine. The rain is coming on proper time. There is no scarcity of food. Citizens are cooperating. Wife is cooperating. My family members are cooperating. My ministers are also very nice, so they are now respecting me. I am very nice, like all my neighboring kings are also like having friendly relationship with me. So I am very much peaceful, very much happy right now. The sadhus, while leaving, did not say anything. He just patted on his shoulder and said that, do not worry, this shall also pass. So this is what, the happiness is also there, that will also go away. Distress is also that will also go away. That is what is the nature of this material world. That is why Krishna very clearly says that Sito Usna. He says Sito, that is winter season, Usna, that is summer season. And Sito Usna is comparing with what? Sito Usna Sukha Dukha. Is comparing it with Sukh and Dukh. Just like right now it is rainy season. We cannot do anything with the rainy season. We do not know when in the morning time it will be like sun will be there in the sky, no cloud is there, weather will look very nice. After like some time, half an hour, it will there, the sky is covered with clouds, it will start raining. Can we do anything? We cannot do anything. That rainy season is there, so what we have to do? We have to just tolerate it. After rainy, so if you think that rainy season is going to remain forever, so that is also not going to remain forever. After rainy season, after some months, winter will come. Winter is also going to remain forever? No. So it will also change. That is why Krishna is saying that agam paino, that it is appearance and appearance and disappearance. It appears and disappears. And anityas, that is not nitya, it is not like permanent, it is non-permanent. Because it comes and it goes. So what is the solution Krishna is giving? Raji says that no sukh dukh will come, so have a very big bank balance, and 2-3 bank accounts you should be having, lots of money you should be having, nice house you should be having, so that you can nicely live in this world. He is giving very simple solution. Tam stitikshava, that you have to, what you have to do, you have to do only one thing, you have to tolerate all these things. But that is how this material nature works, that things will come, things will go. So you have to just keep on tolerating this. This is what this temporary world is all about. So temporary world, all this creation will happen, after that annihilation will happen. Happiness will come, miseries will come. So all this will keep on coming, keep on going. Life will be there, death will be there. So that is what we understand, that how this material world is very much temporary. So that one lesson we learn. Second lesson what we can learn is that when we understand that this world is temporary, so obviously we will look for something which is permanent, some permanent solution we will look for it. So at that time when we start looking for it, because when we read that how nicely everything got created, and then immediately we read, no, it is going to be annihilated also. So then immediately a question will come to our mind that why should I not look for something which is permanent? Why should I be only concerned or bothered or should be only engrossed in something which is temporary? So we should look for something which is permanent, which will give me a complete solution. So at that time, what happens? We come to know about a world which is beyond this material world, that is the spiritual world, which is described in the scriptures. And that time we develop a desire to give up this material world or give up this temporary world and go to the spiritual world. So at that time we develop that desire because we want to free ourselves from this repeated cycle of birth and death, because no one wants to die, no one wants to suffer, no one wants to get old. But all these things keep on happening, keep on happening. And in this world, no matter how hard we try to enjoy, but we are not going to get any enjoyment here. What we get, very dollops of enjoyment, very small drop of enjoyment we get here. Like for example, if you are in a desert, we are suppose that it is a very summer season is there, and we are lost in the desert, we are roaming here and there, and we are very thirsty also, very hungry also. At that time, some person comes and he says that I will give you water. We will become very excited that that person is going to give me water, and he will say me that extend your hand. So I will extend my hand and just drop 3-4 drops of water he will drop on my hand. And he said that you just get satisfied with these few drops of water. That is what this material nature gives us. This just few little drops of happiness he gives us, so-called happiness he gives us, and we think that this is what the ultimate reality, and this is what is going to give me satisfaction. This is what is going to give me joy. So this material world, no matter how try to enjoy, but there is not enjoyment here. That is why it is said that padam padam yat vipdam, that every moment there is always fear that something bad or something wrong or something danger is there in the future, something wrong is going to happen. So as it is said that in this world, Bhritrari, he said that there are 9 types of fear in this world. So everyone goes through these 9 types of fear. Some may know, some may not know, but all these fears are always there. So like one fear he talks about that in bhog. So bhoga, roga, bhayam. So when we try to enjoy, when we try to do bhog, so there is always fear that there will be rog. That is why people do yoga. After bhog, they get rog and they do yoga, so they do not get any rog. So there is bhog, so there is fear. For example, we can just even in our day-to-day life also, if we try to contemplate, we see that like the food stuff also when we are eating, so there is a limitation what we can eat. When we eat, there is always fear that something bad is going to happen. If something we eat more, then there is a fear of disease is there. So that is like gross sense is there. Along with that, anything we try to enjoy in this world, so ultimately it gives lots of suffering, lots of misery. If material way, if we try to enjoy, means all enjoyment is material way only. So if we see that one of the greatest pleasure which people have in this world, that is pleasure of enjoying with the opposite sex. That is one of the greatest pleasure. And if we read these scriptures, when we read these scriptures and if we look around also, so we see that when we develop or when people have developed this kind of consciousness that they want to enjoy with the opposite gender, then there is tremendous suffering. Tremendous humiliation is there, suffering is there, misery is there. Even when it is at the level of thought process also, then also lots and lots of suffering is there. So in scripture, so many examples are there. Person is living a very nice life, very pious kind of life, but as soon as they deviate from their path, they do some kind of a wrong kind of thought process they develop, then immediately sufferings begin. Like example, Ajamila pastime, we know that what happened. So this, like when anyone like Ajamila, he thought that he is going to enjoy with that lady. Ultimately, he had to suffer a lot because of that. And in the scriptures, we see that anyone, like for example, Ravan, we see. Ravan, like how much he suffered. So, like Ravan example, and scriptures we also read about Pururva. Also, we read that Pururva how much he suffered because of his that desire to enjoy with the opposite gender. So it's not about like being the male, whether one is a male or whether one is a female. Everyone has to suffer. Like in Ramayana, we say that the first time who was attracted, Surpnakha. Surpnakha, she got attracted in a very wrong way towards Lord Ram. With Lord Ram's beauty, she got attracted towards him, and she went to Lord Ram and she expressed her desire that she wants to marry. And what she says that you should leave ugly Sita and marry a beautiful person like me. That is what she told to Lord Ram. So what did Lord Ram say? What will he say? He just smiled and he says that unfortunately I could have married you, but I am already married. So it is better that if I marry you, you will be my second wife. But such a beautiful person should not be my second wife. So better you go and marry Lakshman. Then she went to immediately, she ran towards Lakshman. She was not understanding, she was so much overpowered by lust. She ran towards Lakshman, and the Lakshman said that problem is that I can marry you, but I am a servant of Lord Ram and Mother Sita. So if you marry me, so you will become a servant of Ram and Sita. But why will you become a servant of Sita? So instead of that, you go and marry Lord Ram. It's better to be a second wife for Lord Ram than being my wife. Then again she ran back to Ram. Then she thought that ultimately it is Sita only who is the cause of all trouble, so let me kill Sita. So then she tries to kill Sita, tries to attack Mother Sita. Then what happened? She suffered humiliation because her nose and ear was cut by Lakshman. So nothing was there. She got attracted, she became lusty and she got humiliated. And after that, that lusty desire, so it created great havoc. That she went and complained to her brothers, Khar and Dusan, then all his two brothers died, 14,000 Rakshasas died. So now all these things happened. Now if we look in, misunderstand the life of Ravan also, then how Ravan developed lusty desire, that also we can understand. That when this Khardusan and all these 14,000 Rakshasas had got killed, then Akampan, he was saved. So Akampan immediately ran towards Ravan, went to Lanka, and there he told all these things. And there he said that Ram is there, Lakshman is there, Ram is extremely powerful, so he has single-handedly killed all the Rakshasas, your two brothers also. And then Ravan tries to inquire more about Ram. So he says more about Lord Ram, but he immediately tells that he has a very beautiful wife, Mother Sita. So what you can do, that you can kidnap Sita, because if you kidnap Sita, then automatically, because of being in separation from Mother Sita, Lord Ram is immediately going to die. That was his thought process. So Ravan thinks that it is a good proposal. So immediately he goes to Marich. So when he goes to Marich, so at that time Marich immediately cautioned him that you are very nicely living, you have a nice kingdom, you have a nice wife is there, everything is nice is there, then what is the use for you to go and kidnap some other's wife? And I know that Ram, that how much powerful he is. So you should give up all this kind of nonsense thought process and you should go and live peacefully in your kingdom. So Ravan immediately understood and he immediately leaves. He thought that no, he is saying the right kind of thing. Marich is my well-wisher only. So he goes back to his kingdom and he starts leading a normal life. But what happens then? Surpanakha cannot tolerate. She thinks that nothing is happening because I have been humiliated. Then she immediately barges into the assembly of Ravan, and when Ravan is there in the assembly, all the ministers are there, and there she starts in a sense chastising Ravan. So she starts saying that what kind of king you are, your sister has been humiliated and you are engrossed in sense gratification here. You are enjoying your life, you are not bothered about me. So, and I just want to tell that there are two persons are there, Ram and Lakshman is there. So they have humiliated, they have killed your brothers also, so many Rakshasas also. So Ravan says that, yeah, I know about that. So can you tell me something more about these two brothers? Then Surpanakha tries to start describing about Ram, that they are like living like an ascetic. So they are in the forest and all. So but she very briefly describes about Ram and Lakshman. Then she starts narrating about Sita. And in a very detailed way, very exhaustive way, she starts narrating that how Sita looks very beautiful, how her face is moon-like, how her eyes are so beautiful, her hair is so nice. She is much more beautiful than all the damsels of heavenly kingdom. And then after describing her beauty, and she knew the character of his brother, that he is lusty in his heart. So she starts describing the beauty and she says that she is fit to be your wife. So actually I had gone her to make your wife. That was the reason that I had gone, that I wanted that Sita should become your wife, because you are a very handsome person, you are very powerful. So such a handsome person should have a very beautiful wife. And Sita is the most beautiful lady in the entire creation. You should go and marry Sita. And as soon as Ravan heard this, so he became very much excited. He thought that no, I should not get Sita. So at that time, before, Ravan did not have any attraction for Sita. Or, he was told by Kampan, but he did not develop that lusty desire. But again, that thought was reimposed by Surpanakha in the heart of Ravan. Then Ravan developed that lusty desire. And once he developed that lusty desire, when he became very mad for Sita, then we know that all kind of nonsense he did. And even he's like, we can say that he was a person, he was having son also, like Indrajit was there, other sons were there. So his sons were counseling him, his own wife was counseling him, his brother Kumbkaran also counseled him. Then his maternal grandfather, he was Malyavan. He also counseled him. His mother also counseled him that why you are lusty towards that lady, that other's wife, basically other's wife, why you are lusting towards her. And because of that, so much havoc is getting created. So Malyavan was saying that in this kingdom, because of all this lusty thought, and since you have kidnapped Sita, so all inauspicious things are happening. So the blood is raining, in the form of blood it is raining. And he also says one thing, that every night people become very afraid because of all these inauspicious things. So people see every night that there is one black woman which comes into everyone's house, and she has a yellow teeth and she starts smiling at other people. So seeing that black woman with yellow teeth and a smiling face, everyone becomes very afraid. So this is how, like, because of one lust for a woman, and Ravan had many wives. Mandodari was so much beautiful that Hanumanji, he got confused when he had went to Lanka. For a moment he thought that Mandodari can be Mother Sita also. So much beautiful Mandodari was. But we see that Ravan, because of small lust, he destroyed himself also, destroyed the entire kingdom. So, but how it happened? Because that thought was reimposed in him. In our life also, if we keep on constantly reimposing this kind of wrong thought process or wrong things in our heart, then automatically, because as of now, as we can say that, or I can say for myself, that we are not pure, like so many anarthas are within us. So the more we keep on aggravating it, more on keep on reimposing it, more on we keep on hearing about it, so ultimately all these things will start manifesting again and again. Like when we read about 𝐿IKE, that Pururbal, when he initially talks in like the previous canto, we read that how he get attracted towards Urvasi and how he suffers. Then in 𝐿IKE, so he talks about that how he got attracted to Urvasi, and initially he starts like condemning Urvasi, that how Urvasi, how much ungrateful she was, and how because of her I had to suffer. But after criticizing in the sense, speaking about that is because of her she is suffering, so he immediately starts saying that why should I blame her for my suffering? It is not that because of her I am suffering because of my own impure consciousness, because I was not able to understand my true spiritual nature, and because of which I am right now suffering. For example, when Bharat Maharaj, so when he got attracted to deer, so you should not blame deer. It was not the deer because of which Bharat Maharaj got attracted. It was Bharat Maharaj's fault that he got attracted to deer. It was here Pururva's fault that he got attracted. So similarly, if we are getting attracted or if we are developing something wrong, so it is not that someone else is doing something harm to us. It is within us. It is because of our impurity, because of our wrong choices which we make in our life, that all these things come in our life. So that we have to be very much cautious. So, and one important thing Purva is saying that he says that how we can free ourselves from this kind of attraction. So he says that whatever things which we have not heard or which we have not seen, so our mind never gets attached to those things. If you have not seen anything, we have not heard anything, the mind never gets attached to those things. That is why we have to be very much cautious, like whatever we are hearing, because immediately it gets absorbed in the mind, immediately whatever we are seeing, that gets absorbed in our mind. So seeing, hearing, that is why spiritual life also it is said Sravanam, that hearing is one of the most important thing. So hearing and seeing is two important things, and we have to be very much cautious that whatever we are hearing, whatever we are seeing. So we see that whatever people try to enjoy in this world, so always there is a fear and there is constant anxiety is there. There is always humiliation is there. There is always frustration is there. So people go through all these types of emotions. So when people try to do bhog, so along with that, like different types of fear it is described. So like there is a fear, like many people are there. So they want to maintain a good family lineage. So when they try to have a good family lineage, there is also fear. So there is a fear that my family may get some dishonor. So kul bhayam. So there is a fear that family lineage may get destroyed, or there may dishonor in the family lineage. And therein there is fear that other fear is that some fear like someone may have like bal, that is the strength. People may have this thing that I have lots of strength, but there is a fear that a person may lose their strength due course of time. We have heard so many stories that especially sports person, they have a lot of strength initially. Like we hear about so many examples of many great wrestlers. So they have a lot of strength during their teenager time or youth time, but when they become old, so all this strength they immediately goes away. So that is about like fear about the strength people are having. Then there is a fear that vitte, that is the wealth. So there is fear that if anyone has wealth, so there is always fear that a person may lose that wealth. There may some plunderers will be there. The government may take, like these days people are bothered about so many taxes. Through taxes, government takes away the wealth. That fear is there. Another fear is that people are having the fear about the roop. People may think that they are very beautiful. They have nice face and all. But there is always fear that people may become ugly. People may lose that beauty. That fear people are constantly having. Then some person may be having some good quality, some attribute people may be having. Some may speak nicely, some may sing nicely, some may talk nicely, some may write nicely. But there is a very fear is always there that I may lose this thing, or some other person may criticize me because of this. So that fear is also there. So other fear which it talks about, that fear is about the knowledge. So people may have knowledge, but the fear is that if someone is very much like conscious that I have knowledge and I have to prove my worth to the society, that I am very much knowledgeable, very much intellectual as compared to other people. So that time also there is a fear, because nothing is absolute in this world. Today a person may have knowledge, other person will come have a more knowledge than you, no more knowledge than me. So we have to be very much aware about this thing. Like today, I may remember 10 verses of Bhagavad Gita, other person may remember 20 verses of Bhagavad Gita. So I may become proud that I know 10 verses, but there will be people who may know more number of verses than me. That knowledge is always there, that other person may have, so that also fear we may be having, if you are very much absorbed in that thought process. That knowledge is, I am very much knowledgeable person, I am very much intellectual person. So all these fears are there. And one of the most important fear which everyone has in their life, that is the fear of death. That fear everyone has in their life. So that is why people like are very much protective and very much, because people may forget also, but in the back of the mind, everyone keeps on contemplating, thinking that I may not die. People take so many precautionary measures also, but people have constant fear about the death. And one of the most important reasons why people have fear about the death, because they do not have any knowledge about any other destination beyond this material world. That is why when we are discussing about this creation, maintenance, annihilation, so right now when we are reading this purport, so we read that how everything comes out from the Lord, again it manifests from the Lord, and again it is absorbed within by the Lord. So in a sense we understand that no one actually dies, as a soul we never die, but in this world, if we have this material consciousness, so we may remain, like we get absorbed in the body of Mahavishnu. But suppose that we have the higher destination and we have perfected our life, then immediately what happens, that we transcend to the spiritual world. So because of lack of our understanding, lack of the knowledge of eternity, and we do not have anything alternative, anything beyond this material world, that is the reason that people have fear about death. Like I was reading one long back one article that there are prisoners. So there are many prisoners because we know in the prison system, one very poor and all, so they have to be in prison for many years, and some are punished also. So there are many prisoners who are in the prison for last maybe 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, many decades they're in the prison. So they are living in the prison. So a time comes when it is declared that they have completed their sentence. Now they are going to be freed. They have to leave the prison. So generally, what the thinking will be there, that some person is going to be released from the prison. Generally, a prisoner will become happy. But it was written that a person who has spent many years in prison, they actually become sad. The reason being that because they have become so much accustomed to prison life that they do not want to leave prison now, because they are staying there, they are wearing the same kind of cloth, they are eating food there, and along with that, wherever when they are living in the prison house, they feel more protected. They have developed friendship to with other prisoners also. So they get so much accustomed to that prison life, they feel that this is my house right now. Similarly, like in the material world, when we are living, we think that this is my house now, so we want to live here forever. Similarly, those prisoners also want to live in the prison forever because they have spent so many years in that prison. And that is one reason, and one of the most important reason is that why the prisoners want to be in the prison is that because they have stayed in the prison for so many years, now they have lost all the contact with the outside world. Along with that, they have also lost the contact with their family members. Because during the initial years, many family members, what happens, they come and visit the prisoners. Generally, the parents come and visit, but because they have spent so many years, so parents also leave their body, they also die. And slowly, many people will not try to keep any relationship with any prisoner because of their some honor or prestige issue. They won't try to keep any relationship. So they lose all contact with their family members, and they think that this is my family right now. So they think that if I go outside, then what I am going to do outside in the world, in the outside world, what I am going to do. So that is why they become very much morose. Similarly, for us also, because we do not have knowledge, especially materialistic people, so they do not have knowledge of anything beyond this material world. So they want to remain always in this material world. And that is why people have lots of fear about death. But we see that, like for example, Parikshit Maharaj, when as soon as he heard that he is going to die within 7 days, so generally people, what they will do, they will try to figure out the means by which we can save their life. I have heard like many cases when some doctors will say that this person, your relative, your husband, wife, children or parents, whatever, he is going to die. So you try to do certain thing, try to worship this demigod, that demigods. I have heard that like Lord Shiva's what is called Mahamrityunjay jap. So you do, so you can save yourself and all. People may do, that is fine. But people try to save their life, they want to stay in this world. But Parikshit Maharaj was not bothered because he knew about the higher destination. He knew that he is going to go to some higher planet. Not just higher planet, he knew that he is going to go back to the spiritual world. So suppose that we are staying in a hostel, and if we come to know that there is a summer vacation or winter vacation, so it's not that no one becomes upset. Like when we were staying in hostel in school and all. So when the vacation comes or when the exam ends, so everyone is very excited because they will go back to their house. Similarly, when we are in this world, and if we have developed spiritual consciousness, like if we see the life of great personalities, so they are not afraid. Like Haridas Thakur also, past time we read, then we begged Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that give me permission to leave my body, because they all know that they have a higher, superior destination. So that is how they are always like blissful. So there is one story also comes in this Ramayana, that about Sarbhang Rishi. So that story is that when Lord Rama was there in the forest, so when he was going through the forest, so there he sees a very interesting scene is there. So he goes to that ashram of Sarbhang Rishi. So at that time there is Lord that Indra Devi is there. Indra Devi is there. He's on the chariot, and that chariot is being driven by around 1,000 horses. And that chariot is not touching to the ground. It is above the ground, in almost in the sky only. And he is also accompanied by other demigods. And he is speaking something to Sarbhang Rishi. And then as soon as Indra sees Lord Ram, so immediately he leaves, because he says that no, unless and until Lord Ram kills Ravan, I will not meet Lord Ram. So he goes away from there. So Lord Ram comes to Sarbhang Rishi along with Lakshman and Mother Sita. And then he asks, just because he's playing a particular role. So he asked that what is all this thing? I saw that Indra is there, all the demigods is there. So then Sarvang Rishi says that actually Indra and all the demigods had come to take me to Brahma Lok, because I have done all tapasya, all penances and all. So because that fruit I am going to get, the fruit of my tapasya, they wanted to take me to Brahma Lok, and that is why they had come. And there is a chariot also there. So there is one said that I think green color horse is there. It is also driven by 1000 horses. Very beautiful chariot is there, and it has come to take Sarvang Rishi to the Brahma Lok. So, but Sarvang Rishi says that no, I said to Indra that I am willing to come, but I have come to know that Lord Ram is here right now. And since Lord Ram is here, so I will take darshan of Lord Ram, and after taking darshan of Lord Ram, only I am going to go to Brahmaloka. So now I have got your darshan. So I just want to, my prayer is that I want to quit my body in front of you. So at that time he prepared one yagakund kind of thing he prepared. He lights the fire there, and then he starts chanting Vedic mantra, and he goes like he jumps into the fire, he goes into that yagakund. And as soon as he goes, so immediately a youthful body comes out with a youthful body, and he immediately ascends to the Brahmalok, to the higher abode. So here what I am trying to say is that when people knows that there is something higher, something beyond, so automatically this fear of death or fear of all the material miseries, automatically it vanishes, because we know that something great is there, something extraordinary is there. So with that understanding comes when we read these scriptures, when we understand the scriptures, so at that time we get the intellectual understanding also, we get knowledge also, and when we start practicing all this process which acharyas have given, then we also get purification also in the heart. So this also we understand that this creation, and we understand, so it helps us to develop desire to go back to the spiritual world. And along with that, when we understand the Lord is so great, everything is coming from the Lord. The other thing is that one more point is that it helps us to develop an attitude of gratitude towards Lord. We develop a desire to surrender to Lord. So that the feeling of surrender also develops in us, because then we understand that everything is coming from Lord. So it is best that we surrender to Lord. So in whatever situation we are, we should always surrender to Lord. It's not that only pure devotees surrender to Lord. Anyone like in our impure consciousness also, we know that we have lots of impurity. So we should keep on begging to the Lord that to remove impurity. But we should always take shelter of Lord. Like as it said in Bhagavatam, that anyone like a person can be like akama. That person who has no desire, akama is no desire, no material desire, only spiritual desire. That is one kind of person is there. Other person can be that sarva kamo. The person may have all the material desires, like I may have many material desires. People may have many material desires. Some may be moksha kami. They want liberation from this material world. So whether it is akama, moksha kami, sarva kami, so whatever situation one is that, everyone should they should practice bhakti yoga. And the word used is tivrena. With great force, with great intensity, we should practice bhakti yoga. Because when we practice bhakti yoga, then automatically what happens, our heart starts getting purified. So we should not worry that right now we have this many impurities and all, because we are not perfected beings, or at least I can say I am not perfected being. We have to keep on trying. This is what Prabhupada has given us, that we have to keep on trying. And when we read these scriptures, when we hear Prabhupada's lecture, Prabhupada's disciples lecture, or Acharya's book we read, then we get this intellectual understanding. As I said, like when we develop wrong kind of impression also because of hearing and seeing. So only if we start seeing the deity of Nitai Gauranga daily, on a daily basis, like Dwarkadhish Prabhu was saying in the last class, so that there are people who daily visit temple to take darshan of the Lord. Similarly, like anyone, whoever is staying in temple, they are very fortunate. But people like us, if we can try also, those who are not in the temple, we can daily take darshan of the Lord. Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya, that is why Nityam, because when Nityam we do materialistic seva, we can do Nityam Bhagavat Seva also. So we can keep on hearing. So day will come, because slowly, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, it will get cleansed. And a day will come by the grace of Prabhupada, grace of all the Acharyas, we will also understand that ultimate goal of life is to always take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So this is the verse. So like when we study these verses, so we understand the greatness, the extraordinary quality of the Lord. We understand our real constitutional position. We understand that why it is extremely important for us to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, who is the ultimate transcendental reality. So this is what I understood when I read. So if I committed any mistakes, I will seek forgiveness. So we can conclude now. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू वेरी मच।